everyone. Welcome to the Douglas Planning Board meeting for January 22nd, 2019. The meeting is being recorded and will be available for viewing on the Douglas Public Access Channel and on the Douglas website. We'll come to order at 7:06. First item on the agenda. Public hearing continued. ASD Wallem Mass Solar LLC. Site plan review application.
Thank you, guys. I'm going to let Jeff just start us off here because pretty much everything from last time was engineering based. And if we've got any other questions for me, Jeff, I think we're upside down there. And I'll knock them out. Let's see what we've got.
You guys see that? Okay? Okay. So our homework was all stormwater related, and we did a question response thing, but I'll just go through the major things that we did. Okay. Would be a better way to do it. I guess the biggest thing we did was we reran all our stormwater calcs using this property over here as part of the site to understand the impacts on the two culverts over here at Shore Road. So it involved a bigger modeling exercise and just to understand what's going on over here. And the results showed that pre versus post, with the post system in place, there's basically less water reaching those two culverts during storm events, during the modeled storm events, so that those two culverts at Shore Road, excuse me, will actually be better able to deal with the storm water flow than they are now, because there's going to be less water during the storm events coming in to those two culverts. Overall, though, the water eventually reaching those wetlands will remain the same. So we're not drying things up. It just all gets delayed via a really large detention basin that's going to keep the water there and slowly let it out. So I think that's one thing that addresses some of your concerns. Some other homework we did, we added an additional diversion berm here and over on the south as well to try to capture water running off-site and channel it toward the detention basin to, again, just kind of control things better and make sure that as much water as we can realistically gets to the basin to slow it down. The berms have riprap at the end to prevent erosion. That's shown on another sheet. Because we're diverting all this water to the basin, we had to re-engineer the basin, so that was a lot of work too. But
it's a little bit larger.
It's a little bit larger, yeah. But it's oversized, and basically there are a whole bunch of redundancies now on the site that are really going to address any kind of storm event you'll ever have. It's sort of over-engineered, but that's a good thing in terms of control. We added a lot more check dams. This time, putting them parallel to the contours, again, to slow down water as much as we can. And we did some calcs that the engineer wanted to kind of look at the flow rates between the check dams and between the diversion berms and kind of how those flow rates, how the vegetation stands up against flow rates in terms of erosion and whatnot. So we kind of showed that if there were to be overland flow, that the vegetation in those areas could handle that. We redid the infiltration trench here that's kind of right down gradient of the pad. It was kind of below the riprap, and we pulled it right up so it's adjacent to the pad, so it kind of captures everything that goes right off the pad. We made the infiltration trench bigger and oversized again to just to be safe. There's a comment about how we did not do soil testing, so just to make up for that, we made it extra large. But overall, it's a pretty small pad, so the water coming off that pad is going to reach that infiltration trench, and we think it will take care of that. And for good measure, we put some infiltration trenches up near the street. Those just try to, in an attempt to try to capture water before it even starts to go down the hill. Again, we don't really think they're needed, but They can't hurt, and in the spirit of trying to really get this thing squared away and done, we put those in. And again, the infiltration trenches basically work by slowing the water down, letting the water infiltrate, so there's just less water coming down the hill during storms. I think those are the big things we did.
The flow is from right to left?
Yeah, exactly. And these basically reflect the direction of the contours, so the contours are going this way. So the check dams are kind of perpendicular to them. These kind of tend to divert the water this way toward the basin. And we filed a revised stormwater report as well. Those are the major
Yes.
things.
I think, Bill, do you have any other comments for the work we've sent you?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Chair, I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I think that's, I mean, that's the extent of our
I think
changes
those are
from
the
last
major
time.
things. There were lots of little details,
Okay.
but those are the big chunks that we did.
How's that infiltration trench constructed? How's that made?
It's got a thin, like some small type stone in the first 6 inches or so. We have a cross section.
Yeah.
I could get to you. Oh, I should hand this out. If you want to take a look at these plans. I think like the last page, I'll show you a cross section. Sorry I didn't hand those out. This plan right here
I mean, it's part of the property. That's what that.
shows the infiltration trench. And so there's a layer of gravel, and then larger stones, and then below that, I think, sand.
Yeah.
And there's geotextile fabric wrapped around it all. And the whole scheme is to just capture water, slow it down, let it infiltrate into the earth. And again, we made it bigger because we're not totally sure about the soil characteristics, because we didn't do the testing. But
How does it infiltrate into the ground? It's this is wrapped with waterproof?
no, it's kind of a
Or is it
filter fabric.
filter? Oh,
It
okay.
just keeps things in place and lets the
okay.
water go through. It's geotextile fabric. They kind of lay it down first. They put the layer of, I think is it sand? Yeah, it's sand.
Yeah, it's sand.
And then large stones, and then
Yeah.
gravel. Yeah. It's kind of just a nice way to get water to
Stop.
flow less.
Bill, any comments?
Yeah, the revised calculations and the drawings came in initially last Thursday. As you know, well, I was out Friday
Right.
to take advantage of the Monday holiday.
Yeah.
So I really haven't had a chance to go through this thoroughly. Just to point out the amount of work, it took a week and a half for them to get me that.
Okay.
And then, I spent most of the day reviewing it. So I've come along. In theory, the concept and approach of the design looks correct. The things I'm going to focus on with regard to the calculations are the flow at the diversion burns. I'm concerned at erosion at those 2 locations. But I've got to take a closer look at the calculations to satisfy myself on that. I appreciate the infiltration trenches. I think that's a good idea.
That's a great idea.
I like the revision on these stormwater check dams. I think that's done properly. So I looked at the flow chart. I didn't go through a detailed analysis of the calculations, but the chart does in fact say that they're decreasing the flow rates at each of those culverts while maintaining the volume for the wetlands. So I think that's good. So it's basically I've got to cross the Ts and dot the Is at this
Okay.
point.
Yep.
I have begun drafting a decision, so I'm in the process of compiling that.
Okay. Think we could get all that by our next meeting?
I think so.
Okay. Board, anybody have any questions or comments?
No, looks good. We got it.
So
Anything
we're gonna do
else?
one more continuation?
What's that?
We're doing one more continuation?
I think we have to,
The
Bill,
bills.
I mean, he just got
It's
them,
up to the board, but
He just got this.
yeah, he just got those.
again, I plan on having the decision ready to hit the ground running at the
Yeah.
next
Okay.
meeting.
Okay.
You know, and if anyone thinks of conditions they want added, just email them to me.
Okay,
Okay.
all right.
So I guess the applicant, the only request we've had is to get a copy of those conditions before the next meeting. So if we've got any concerns,
I
you know,
plan
about
to.
the structure,
Yep.
we can cover those prior to the meeting. Obviously, or be prepared to talk about them in the meeting.
Of course.
Specifically.
I'd like to try and resolve those issues in advance of the meeting, and then, you know, so that we come here, we both agree. If we don't, if we have some substantive disagreement, then.
Yeah, the board can take a look at it, but otherwise, so we're good on the design unless you find something unexpected.
Again, yeah, I gotta go
Yeah.
through the modeling, make
Yeah.
sure it's proper. The only thing, like I said, I wanna be clear about this.
Yeah, where is, just from my understanding of,
So what's going on is, and I don't know what the acreages are off the top of my head. Jeff, maybe you do. But what's going on is the site generally slopes in this direction,
Yep.
okay? 5% pitch, uniform. So what's going on is, can I write on this?
Sure.
We're not gonna use that one.
This is catching runoff from roughly this area, actually even further.
Yeah,
And this is a little berm, a little hump
Yeah.
in the ground. And just to put it into scale, this is what, 42 acres?
the array area is 24.95.
24 acres, so
Yeah.
this is, you know, 1/4 of it, maybe?
yeah.
Okay, all of that water's coming down, hitting this berm, and then going in this direction, creating an issue potentially at this point. Erosion issue, and that's my concern. And likewise, at this point. So that's what I need to look at, to make sure that they considered that as part of the design, so that we're not gonna have an erosion issue at that
I mean, you
point.
can
It's a really
curl
good
it.
question. We did put riprap there too. You can look at that.
Yeah.
You know, and that's something I know if, you know, we, you know, in the sense of not tweaking the design to death, that we can adjust, you know, building permit size, whatever your satisfaction is, you know, if it's shaping it,
Right.
if it's adding feet
I
or
understand what you're
structure.
trying to do. I mean, I think it would have been more suitable to not have those berms there and have a second detention basin for the other culvert.
Oh, to the
That's
north.
what I think would have been more appropriate, but, you know, we'll look at what you have and
Yeah.
work with that.
I mean, of this whole project, my main concern is the erosion and the runoff.
Right.
And you got a big community down below, you got a pristine lake. I don't want any runoff.
Of course, yes, sir.
We do not want runoff, we don't want erosion.
And the way we've built that is to put that in the middle of the array area, you know,
Yeah.
as much as we could. So,
Yeah.
you know, certainly if there were a problem, we have to continually fix it, or we have to adjust what we've done to make it not erode.
Right.
Yeah, so give our engineer a chance to look at it. If you think this is
That's
gonna
it.
take care of the problem and Bill agrees, then I think we can pretty much wrap everything up at one more meeting.
All right.
That agreeable with the board?
And I'm gonna continue tomorrow and the next day just to get this wrapped up at this
Yeah.
point from a design perspective. And I'll probably be talking to your stormwater guy.
That'd be great.
Perfect.
Sounds like a plan.
The next meeting is for them.
Yeah, Mike?
What are the dotted lines, or the dashed lines?
On the right side,
No, on the, at the head of the site, there are obviously some barrier construction, but not the solid.
These
These guys, yeah.
These are the slope breakers. So this.
Which are
Little
they're like
stone
little-
different than
dams.
these guys.
Yeah, they're little stone check dams. Water's gonna come down, hit them, slow down, and
but they're broken every so many feet, so
Right.
they're not like
Yeah,
a
just-
2-foot-high check dam that's 800 feet long, right?
so they're not
Which is-
diverting water. They're just
Yeah.
slowing it down,
Slowing it down, yeah.
giving it a chance to infiltrate.
Okay.
Okay.
The other one is.
Anybody else on the board have any questions, comments? Okay, anybody in the audience? This is a public hearing. Seeing none? All right, would you like to be on at same time, next meeting?
7:30?
2 weeks from now.
7:30
7:30?
on the 12th.
7:30 on the 12th?
Sounds good.
Roger that.
Someone wanna
And
make a-
that we should have the vote and the sign conditions, assuming we proceed as we
Yep.
expected.
Yep,
All right.
all right, sounds good.
Thank you,
Make a
everyone.
motion to continue the public hearing for ASD Wallem Mass Solar LLC to February 12th at 7:30 PM.
Second?
Second. Motion made by Tracy, seconded by
So Jeff, I may not
The
be here
12th.
for that one.
all those in
That night.
favor?
Aye.
Over in Woodfield.
Opposed, abstained, motion carries.
Okay, right into unless you want to draw stuff.
Take things on order.
Yeah.
Maybe, I don't know.
I will look to get some time on the administrator's calendar in the next couple of weeks.
That would be.
To start that
would be
conversation
wise.
off.
Yeah.
Just now that we've got to a point where I think we're done with the,
Right.
a lot of the tweaking, we're at a point where it makes sense to engage. Do you need a copy of what we brought, design-wise, another one? Got a full size?
Well,
You got this today.
yeah, we got that today.
Something
yeah.
done it again today.
Make sure we pull stuff down. Have a good night, guys.
All right, have a good evening.
All right, thank you.
I thought we talked about that last time. I missed that part, that's why I was
All right.
confused.
That's, defines an automatic continuation.
It's
when shit comes in.
procrastinators. Those engineers are
Okay, we move to
procrastinators.
discussion.
Well, it's intentional.
Bill, is there one you wanted to take out of order here?
I don't know, do we still need to go out of order?
On number 6?
2 and 5 are gone,
Why
right?
do I need
That's
it?
what
Oh, no,
Maria said.
no.
No. Okay,
No.
in order, Ernie.
In order? Okay.
No.
All right, let's do this. CMRPC zoning map revisions.
Want to do the other stuff first? Get it out of the way.
Yeah,
let's get the other
he has a
stuff
new
done.
baby.
I
his
think.
dad.
Just, the other stuff's more
Yeah,
black and
his
white.
son.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I was gonna have him come in, but,
Yeah.
What?
I
Next
said
meeting
just
then?
stay.
Yeah.
well, if
Everything
you
else
guys
black
are
and
gonna
white, that's in
entertain
color.
it. I'm gonna
Roll
leave
the other
though.
one.
Talk to him, don't talk to me.
Mr. Chairman, Mr. Chairman, I
Yes, sir.
request that we take this out of order and start with number 2, take care of all the black and white things and- before we get to the color map.
All right.
Well then,
That's-
are you gonna entertain that?
I'm asking,
Well,
respectfully so,
at number 2, we'll take that one first. Go ahead.
Wuthering Heights.
Number 2, in your packet, you'll have a copy of my surety estimate for Whiten's Reservoir Estates.
Yep.
And I did not give you all the backup, but nonetheless, I got that to them prior to the time frame we stipulated at the last meeting, and then I hadn't heard anything back from them. I emailed them today to see if they were going to, if they're okay with it, or if they
Yeah,
have any
right.
comment on it. And Lori called me and said she had some comments on it, so she's asking that we take it up at the next meeting.
There you go.
She's gonna have her engineer, take a look at it because they think it should be valued lower.
Of course they do.
And again, I held the same methodology, I didn't change the quantities.
Yeah.
I just simply used the current Mass DOT weighted average bid prices,
Right.
which I backed up in all my
Yeah.
documentation, so.
Okay, all right.
I'd like to see what their engineer comes up with.
Okay, all right. We'll put them on for next meeting then?
Yep.
Under discussion, or? are they
It'll
gonna
be under discussion.
Okay. All right. Takes care of number 2.
Private ways, the document I actually handed out to you from our general bylaws was outdated. The one on the website is outdated. I did let the town clerk know that.
Oh, okay.
So what I included, at least what should be included in your packet, I'm not seeing it.
Yeah, we have it.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, here.
Yep.
So it's two things. First is Article 22 from our past town meeting, which is the language that was voted and approved for the private ways. We're currently working with town council on modifying some language perhaps to adjust this. Matt, the town administrator, agrees completely that something could be done, and, so we're all on the same page.
Okay.
That's it for that. I'll keep you in the loop on our progress.
Thank you.
Lakeside.
Is that what this general bylaw thing is addressing?
Yes, yeah, that's it. That's the one we just passed at town meeting last
Yeah.
session. Which has a number of holes in it.
Difference between
Lakeside.
new private roads and old private roads.
Okay,
Excuse
so,
me.
what do you wanna take next?
Oh, perfect. We got a couple more people
Yeah.
on the boat.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Oh, the next,
The boat people, Rutland and West Brookfield.
Yeah, yeah. So I asked CMRPC for their, where they're at with regard to the lakeside residential. As you may recall, we talked about getting some, what's called district local technical assistance grants
Yep.
from the state.
Yep.
That's what this is an application for, and it spells out the scope along with the time frame.
Yep.
Now, they're looking to get things started, not only, as you mentioned, with a couple other towns, but also with the schedule that's called out for in section, let's see, 6,
Timeline?
timeline,
Yeah,
page
I was reading
4.
that.
Page 4.
October to December 2019 finals.
So prepare the final deliverables, they're looking at December of 2019, December of this year. Which means we'd be looking at the next annual
Town
town.
meeting.
$18,000.
So when are they gonna know if they get the grant?
This is the application for the grant.
Okay, so when's the deadline?
They're looking to start work with, define the problem in May is when they're starting, it looks like.
But do they get it automatically?
I think, I've never seen them not get it.
Oh, okay,
Let me put it
all
that way.
right. So many people don't really apply for this.
Yeah, usually the
The
regional planning
DL.
commissions do pretty well with the grants, I mean, that's what they do.
Yes, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So.
How much money do they have in that grant fund?
That's a good question, I don't know the answer to that.
Is it public knowledge?
I think
you
the
find
regional
out?
planning commissions are the ones that typically go for the DLTA. That's what it is, district local technical
Okay, so
assistance.
like Northern and all
Yeah.
all the Massachusetts Regional Planning
Correct.
Committee people,
Correct.
okay. Interesting.
Right, so who's responsible for filling out the application?
They've
They
already
will
done
prepare it
This is
100%.
it.
We might
Just
have
put
a
our John Hancock on
signature
it?
page
Okay.
that we sign
Okay.
supporting it. We might have to put a letter of support together, something like
Yep,
that.
okay.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yep. All right.
Yep.
All right.
Very
We
nice.
should find out some more stuff.
Get some more.
Okay, pine, sand, and stone.
Well, that's it, on these things, we're actually, if we had another project or thought about
Yeah.
what we wanted to utilize their assistance on,
Yeah,
this would be competing against that.
okay. So there's probably not a lot of stuff that people,
So that's 18,000 that would go towards this.
yeah. Okay, sorry. So you're just gonna do letters of support and letters of commitment from each participating municipality?
That's usually what
Letters
they
of
ask
commitment
for.
are required.
Yeah, so the
Okay.
selectmen would probably send something along saying.
Okay.
Yes.
And if there's a match, sometimes there's a match for these things, we'll have to quantify our hours on it, stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Okay, sounds good. All right, pine, sand, and stone. Request for 1 year earth removal special permit extension.
Pine, Sand and Stone submitted a request for an extension, and I asked them for their annual update, which is required in their permit. And generally, they've been pretty good about it, but we haven't gotten one, so, we want to make sure they're at where they are supposed to be.
Right.
And so Andy said he was going to get me that, and, I let him know today we were going to bring it up, and I said I would recommend deferring to next meeting
Yes.
until we get
Yeah,
the
we don't have
asphalt
it
plan.
yet.
Yeah, if we don't have the information, we can't make a decision.
You don't know when it expires,
Plus-
right?
March 11th, 2019.
Oh, okay.
Andy is the new person running.
Correct.
This
Since
place?
January 1st.
Okay, because, yeah, Pioneer's always been up to date with everything on the, so
Right.
you want to make sure that the
Right.
same pattern
He's still there.
follows, yeah. Okay. All
Is
right,
Jim's
next
still
meeting.
around? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's still there.
Okay, guaranteed builders, that's,
I'm gonna recuse myself and
okay.
waive the table.
Okay, we got a number of documents in your packet, so what I would suggest we look at first is the January 19th
Yep.
letter.
Yep. Requesting a change of ownership? for a
Yes.
Special permit and extension time?
So take a look at that.
Give me a hint, where are we?
This one right
Very
here.
back,
you go.
there you go.
You got it? That's it, yeah.
It's the one from Jay?
No,
No.
this is from Lou and Paul Delphine.
Oh, we're in the back.
Okay.
We also got the letter from town council on this, right?
We do, so I'm gonna take these in order, let everybody read the January 19th letter. Basically, what they're asking is two things for the earth removal permit on Glen Street. This is the one with the very tall retaining wall,
Yep.
adjacent to the town's well site.
Yeah.
Acre and a half,
Yeah, it's small. It's relatively small, but it's
Yeah.
deep. It's
Yeah.
like 80 feet deep.
right?
And they're asking that, for two things. Number one is they're asking for an extension for 6 months to 11/8 of 19. The current permit goes to 5/8 of 19, so they're looking for a 6-month extension. And number two, they're looking for a transfer of ownership from the current owner, permit applicant, to Paul Dauphine of CCAP. And actually, it's LLC, not incorporated.
Where is that?
I did attach the permit to your packet, so you have that if you want to look through it, particularly as we go through town council's letter. So the second thing is, we have town council's letter, email, just like this.
Yeah. That's this one right here.
Yep. Jay.
Third one?
That's it.
So I asked Jay if this was all good and cool to do. He noted a couple of contradictory things within the permit. Condition 1D speaks to assignment and doesn't reference a required change in the special permit. However, condition 1Q says the permit is not transferable and a new special permit is required. It is this provision that controls, and therefore they must apply in due course. Also, I'm assured that it will be,
They being who?
I'm sorry, I am assuming that it will be the assignee who will be doing the security. I had some questions on the security, so that, I don't want to confuse that issue. We're really talking about that first paragraph there, okay? So with regard to the request, it seems like there's two points in the decision that reference the transferability. One doesn't say it's
Surety, not security?
permit. Same thing. Surety and security is the same thing. So the first condition, 1D, doesn't reference a required change to the second, to the permit, and 1Q says that it's not transferable and a new special permit is required. Jay thinks that it's that second thing that applies.
Okay.
So,
It should, yeah. They need to understand and come through the process, right? As a
Right.
owner,
Yeah. So that
and adopt that.
Q does it right off the bat.
so now,
Right, I get that.
So I'm confused, is they propose selling the property before they complete the,
Yeah,
earth
but that's
removal?
for
correct.
ownership,
So
yeah.
we issued a permit, the permit expires in May, they're looking for a 6-month extension, and they're looking for a new person to step in their role as the permit holder. Okay?
So if they come forward and they reapply, then they'll have their own dates to deal with.
Correct.
Yeah, they don't need a 6-month extension.
Correct.
Which I don't think we should grant if Jay says 1Q is what we
Well,
should.
one Q is what we signed.
Q.
Oh, no, you didn't sign it.
I wasn't, but,
Your name was on the
So-
back, but you weren't at that meeting or something. 'Cause are right there.
Or sign it.
We signed it, that's what we signed.
Yeah, it's not transferable, right.
So whatever you guys are comfortable with, because like I said, look at 1D and look at 1Q on the attached.
One must notify the
Can't seem to
right
find
of
two.
change in any of the parties listed.
I think,
So these parties aren't listed.
right, and what happens is when one party transfers property to another party, that party never gets the understanding of what the condition was. You know, they need to come in
Yeah,
on their
they
own.
need to come in.
Who would apply for the new permit?
The new owners.
Dolphins wants it,
Paul,
if he wants it.
Makes sense.
I mean, that's why,
Either that or you don't transfer the property till after you do the work.
Right, and then we can just,
Yeah.
right, we get,
You might need an
it
extension.
gets cleared out by Bill and the work is done and surety is returned, right? That works.
yep.
All right, so tell them they have to come in and file, if they wanna do that.
Or finish the work.
That's fine. Now I have a second letter in the
I
packet.
saw that.
Okay.
22nd?
So in the event the first letter came out the way town council had suggested, the second letter now
Yeah, so
is
we
in
just grant the
place.
extension for now, but.
Right.
but
That's,
the guarantee
so
of
if you agree with town council's opinion, then we're looking at the second
Yeah,
letter.
that's- all right, I agree with
Right,
town
right, we
council.
agree.
Second letter being January 22?
Yes.
Yes.
Do we take a straw on that? Do we need to vote or something?
You need to vote.
We need to vote,
you
we need to vote
an
to extend the
extension, yeah.
permit, yeah, which I don't have a problem
But with
with
the
that.
understanding is 1Q is what we're.
The only thing I would suggest is, November sometimes is late in the year to be, planting Roman seed and trying to restore site.
I agree with that.
So you might wanna actually make
By
it
November
longer.
1.
Or see, I could solicit their input, but, November 8th is a little late to be planting
Planting,
seed.
yeah.
Do you wanna find out if they wanna go further, or if they wanna say call it?
I'd almost
November
be
1?
inclined to go to the next May,
Yeah.
but, they should ask that,
Right,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
We still have time
Just give them the 6 months for
before this runs out.
Yeah.
But the problem is, Aaron, if
We
there's a
have-
problem with pulling the surety, the permit expires in the middle of winter.
Yeah.
We can't go out and do the work.
What do you-
that. So 6 months is extension from the date of,
Right.
which is what?
May.
They wanna-
Oh,
May
it's
8th.
not now, okay, so I'm misunderstanding, okay.
Yeah, so that would make it May
So it's
20.
11/8, yeah. May of 20, right.
Yeah. Yeah,
But that's.
I mean, that would be
But
my
that would be
preference,
the-
if
yeah.
they can, if they're willing to do that.
yeah.
if they wanna do that.
Yeah.
I mean,
We have time before our next meeting to make a decision on this, so if you wanna
Right.
contact them and tell them
What do they want?
that, and
yeah,
rather than 6 months a year, that'll take them to May, and
yeah.
that's plenty of time to get some
And
plan.
then we can get out there in the growing season or planting.
If it has to be
If
done.
it has to be
Yeah,
done.
yeah.
Makes sense.
That seems fine.
Okay.
It's reasonable.
So,
Continue it, well, it's not a hearing. so-
No.
No, just contact them, and we'll we'll address it at our next meeting.
Yeah.
Very good.
That works.
Okay, that takes care of everything under discussion. Back to number
You
one.
wanna do minutes?
You wanna do them first?
Get them out of the way.
Yep.
One? Okay. Mr. Minutes.
yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Which really is,
And just
Okay,
in
it's
case,
not really important, but-
just in case that's recorded in here, Tracy did recuse herself from this part of the meeting, and she is now back. Okay,
well, I had questions, but they're all, I think, probably maybe explainable, but on page 2. What did I see that? Hold on. Um, 8:28 PM. And this is a general comment. It really applies to the whole document, but first sentence says, Mr. Marks, blah, 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 and then John Federico, question mark. And
Is that the name?
Question is, what is the question mark mean? Is she
not
questioning the
his name.
spelling of the
I
name?
think so,
or the
probably.
name of the person?
Well,
And what do we do about it? So
Where
there's
is it?
he works for Guerrero and
two or
Hannah.
three of those on this page alone.
It's because they don't have a sign-in sheet like Concom. So you never know who the people are.
Jeez, you're right.
And I know, all right, so there's a couple question marks on page 3 that, who decides?
Yes, John
the right
Federico is
spelling?
correct,
Okay.
and the gentleman in
Bruce.
the audience is Bruce.
Okay, so actually that, John Federico is correct. Okay, so Bruce question mark
Bruce
is,
Taylor,
T-A-Y?
Taylor.
There you go.
very good.
How do we know this?
I didn't know you were the spelling guru, and the question mark guru. Page 4,
Benari,
yeah, that's what, yeah.
Lori, and it's
It's in something, right?
L-O-R-I, not L-A-U-R-I-E. It's L-O-R-I. Benari, F-U-N-A-R-I.
What's all these questions on? Jennifer Gallitz.
Okay, but before that, there's Jennifer Gallitz.
Gavlitz.
Is that correct?
Jennifer is correct, but it's G-A-V-E-L-I-T-Z.
Say that again and louder, so she'll hear it, and I'll hear it.
You can hear.
Gavlitz, G-A-V-E-L-I-T-Z.
Bob Pace, is that right?
Bob Pace is correct. Where is
Bob
that?
Pace is correct.
Down.
So the Ms.
Yes, Bob
Gallowitz
Pace.
Bob Pace
thing.
is
Okay.
correct, yes.
So, gotta correct every
And
single spelling of her
Toward the
last
bottom of the page, at item 2, I guess, says Zoban, question mark.
Good question.
Zoban?
Zoban. Sounds like a science fiction
Oh,
movie.
Thomas Zoban, that's like this.
I'll let Mary know outside of the meeting.
Okay. Bill will correct, okay.
It's the Zoban.
And,
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
name. You got a ton of that,
before,
woman's name.
and those things, it isn't just one change, you know, it appears throughout the
Yeah,
Yeah,
document.
she'll
Yeah.
do a search and, yeah,
I'd have to say I'm with
Um,
the Zoban.
don't mess with
And that's
us.
all I had.
The Zoban.
I got one question.
Right.
Front page, 705, very start of the second paragraph. The traffic plan does not allow vehicles to idle. But we do allow vehicles for early morning startup.
But is that what was said in the meeting? Cause she's writing down what we said.
This is what they said.
Is that what they said, or is?
Well, what
how-
was
how
said
did
at
this-
the meeting?
Yeah, who said?
Whoever said it.
They just don't
Tell
want
me.
to try it.
the comment
We
Jeff
don't
Brandt.
know.
Was it,
Jeff
was it,
Brandt.
was it Jeff that said it? Cause it's the second paragraph, that's why I
Yeah,
didn't
he's
know.
the
if-
one that spoke to all the traffic issues.
Yeah. You could just have her review it. And who said?
Yeah.
It must
you know-
be their traffic plan.
That's what I'm
Right.
questioning, because we normally allow, like, will allow, especially the colder weather and stuff.
Yeah, early startup.
Just early startup and things.
Yeah.
Or, I can't remember what that was all, how that got in
All
there.
vehicles
It says the
will be-
traffic plan does not allow, so their plan call for no idling.
Yeah, it must say no idling on their plan, on the plan.
On their plan.
Yeah.
I'm just.
You can put the applicant's traffic plan. Does not allow vehicles to idle.
Well, I think what Mike's getting at is,
It's contradicting kind of what we allow to happen.
well, the warming up the vehicles in the winter
Yeah.
months is what you're getting
But
at.
that's not.
But it's what
Good one.
it's what they proposed on their plan. It's not what we proposed.
I don't remember him saying that.
Then strike it. I mean,
He
Yeah.
he did say it because we may have led them into
Right.
not idling all day, you know, out there. But
Along the street, I thought it
Yeah.
was
Well, that's what I'm.
waiting for their turn to come
their
into the
queue.
site.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what it was, queuing in the street.
Yes, I
Because
read
there's
clearly.
caution signs for horses and for trucks entering.
Right, well, that's what I'm getting at. It's
I would just have to review that
Yeah.
section.
just to check on that. See, if it's If he said it all and it's all there, then that's fine.
It's because he's bringing up traffic plan up there.
Right.
And I think we said we don't want the truck backing up into the street. And then he says, oh, the
Right.
plan doesn't allow for idling.
Right.
I mean, warming up and idling, is that the same thing?
Not
When
necessarily.
you warm up
Yeah.
and then you drive
Yeah.
versus idle for half hour?
Right. It's the idling for hours that's just been pulled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you proposing?
All right.
That we
No,
modify
just-
something or?
No, just to double check it, to make sure on who said it.
Okay.
That's all else. Well, yeah, huh?
Who said?
Okay.
Who said this? All right,
That's it.
well,
Good job.
everybody's on board otherwise.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the meeting minutes as amended for January 8th, 2019.
Second. Motion made by Mike G, seconded by Ken. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstained, motion carries.
Oh, where is Les? I forgot.
All right, we're rolling.
Yeah, is he on this one?
He is. Motion to adjourn?
No,
Whoa,
no,
whoa.
we gotta do CMRPC.
Just a suggestion.
Just a suggestion.
CMRPC.
I could go with that suggestion.
Put your finger down for it. We're talking about this area.
You wanted to mark it up, so there you
Right,
go.
we forgot that.
What do you think, Megan? Feel
I
comfortable?
forgot that.
Go for it, Mike. You're facing the right way.
Yeah.
So can you briefly describe the color coding again?
Yeah, so what I would suggest, okay, go ahead, Mike.
In other words, you light red hatched and dark red
That's
hatched.
industrial.
Gray is industrial. The red hatch is the parcels that straddle two different zoning lines.
Oh,
So there's two there. White.
White is residential.
And now the gold is.
Three of them right there.
Then the gold is village.
Correct.
It's
And
village.
then
These are
red
residential.
is commercial.
Commercial.
Industrial, commercial, it's all four of them are right there.
Yeah.
That's,
So like that one lot has really 1, 2,
where's the
3,
lot line? Is it in here?
the black. See that black?
Yeah. So, okay, which is different though than this block.
That's industrial.
but that's a different lot entirely
Yeah,
in
this is a
industrial.
different one.
Right.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah,
So
we're
this
not-
one is overlapping what?
Three different,
Well, overlapping
I'm saying
here, yeah.
3 different zones, right?
Yeah, three.
So
That one
those
lot?
are vacant, right?
The white, the gray, oh, so.
All these are vacant up here? This whole entire thing's vacant?
Well, that, which side?
This side?
No, there's a couple of houses that are there. They might even be the ones that are hatched.
Okay, that's what is that what the,
No.
does it say,
Houses
vacant?
with between 20 and 80% splits.
Oh. And then another hatch? There's no two
Well,
hatches?
the other hatch is over the white and one is
Oh.
over gray. That's why I think it looks different. Is that not correct? That this is,
Maybe, one's a weird.
this is
hatch.
white
Yeah.
under here, so
Yeah.
this zone is here, whereas this is gray. Right through here is, that's gray.
Like the hatch is, just letting you know, 20 to 80% split.
Okay,
And that means the property is that placed up.
So they didn't hatch up to 20% and then didn't hatch after 80%.
80%.
Right, they just let
Right.
it go. So the thing is, from a planning standpoint, we want to see what goes from industrial to commercial to residential and village are similar in impact, you know, as far as people living there and all.
Right.
And then industrial is a very difficult interface to residential. So how do we mediate that so we don't have that striking difference,
Right.
you know, so.
Yeah.
So this is really the, I hate to say it, but it's like primarily industrial here. And then it,
oh, every single,
But everything
it's-
under this hatching is
There's a
It's
house in
already
all of these.
existing.
These are all houses.
Yeah.
Is that what you're saying? Mm-hmm. Right, so we
So
need to
even-
protect them.
Even
Yeah.
though, isn't all this double zone?
That's
In that
all
sense?
industrial underneath.
Yeah.
Yes, but there's something else there, that's why it's hatched, right?
Oh, yeah, it must be, because it's,
I don't know.
you can't tell
This
what's.
is a hard,
No, no,
way to
no.
present
See,
that.
this is a lot. Maybe they're
Where's the lot
cross-hatching
line?
it.
It's the boundary of the
There.
hatched area.
so this lot, this gray,
This
gray
is,
ends here.
this is the lot. This thing. But there's white in the lot and there's gray in the
The
lot.
gray ends here,
But there's
Right
already a
inside of it.
house there, something's there on that
down
one.
here.
There's,
But the lot, what we're saying is, it's in the lot here. It's a crazy lot like this.
mhm.
And that lot is split between residential and industrial. That's why they hatched it.
Right. Because it's a 20 to 80% split,
I mean, it is,
so,
but it's so much in industrial.
right,
But you hate to be punitive to,
right.
Is there, what are the, any roads that are on here that might,
Right there.
impact the,
You got the one going right there's
Street.
Gilboa. Right there's Gilboa, that's the four-way intersection. That's it heading into something. Like this one here, where you have commercial, there's no houses back here.
right.
So should this one be looked at to change it, to keep it all
Commercial.
commercial? Because this property line looks like it jogs here.
Yeah, see, that's the
Goes
thing,
up
you
there.
can't tell the property lines too well.
no, you can't.
You got them right here.
You got them down here. yeah.
My
Too bad we
question
didn't have
is,
an
are we getting too involved in this, or should we just leave it like it is?
I think we should leave it like it is.
Huh?
I think we should leave it like it is and maybe
I-
improve the
I-
bylaw.
I've been
Instead of
thinking
the
about
map.
that too, and
How do you
The
improve
only,
the
the
bylaw?
only problem that I have is if this was all vacant, I wouldn't really care. Like over here, I think this is vacant, right?
Right, you can't
So if you
punish
change it
houses.
industrial,
Right.
it's not gonna really matter if there's no houses around.
Can I
This
ask-
is all developed.
Can I ask you, this red, this commercial, is there
None of-
anything here?
None of that red's developed.
Yeah.
Wait, no, I'm
It's
talking about
mostly school
this
property.
stuff,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm talking about up here.
Yeah,
Where?
but school can be allowed.
The
I was
commercial.
talking over here.
Right.
What else is?
Yeah, but I don't
It
think
could,
there's any
but
lot-
that,
That's the
you
house,
asked that
right?
commercial, is there anything there? That's mostly
Is that the
school
way they mark
property.
the house on
Okay,
here?
but the question is, why can't that
I
just,
think it,
why can't we make that all residential? Look at it, it's all
The
yellow.
school owns this property?
No, here.
No, but,
Oh, where
but
is
Aaron,
that?
what's the point of
I
changing
don't
it
see it.
if it's municipally owned school property?
Because what it does is, it's
You know
allowed
what that
by
is.
right, under Dover Amendment, it can,
That's
or whatever,
Gilboa.
it could be in residential, why not just
That's
make it
all
all
they got the
residential? It's not
land
gonna
right there,
change
commercial.
the use,
Okay.
but it's bad zoning. I mean, you just, look at, you got this like strip through the middle of residential. Wouldn't we wanna just
But
make it all
that-
yellow?
But that's on
Vacant?
Route 16. That's where your commercial would be,
Yeah.
if you were to get commercial. But it's, most of it's owned by the town, that's part of the problem.
So we're saying this road,
That's 16.
right,
That's
right
Route
here.
16.
that's, yeah.
Yeah, I know where it is now.
This is upside down.
Well, then that's no problem, because
Yeah.
that's
This
across
is
the street,
upside
just
down.
schools.
Go
Right,
This way.
northeast, so this is like right
School
down
is like
there at the-
residential.
School's up
School's
here.
right, yeah.
That's
School's
fine.
right in this
All right.
section.
And we have no utilities either. That's a big problem.
Right.
We should get CMRPC to get us extensions on water sewer.
That would be good.
I mean,
that would be helpful.
nobody's gonna come here unless they have utilities.
Right.
Like, that's the bigger problem.
That's the
And then
one.
we'll adjust, we'll give everybody special
Yeah, I mean,
permits
we could be-
if they wanna come
Yeah,
here
well, that-
and do something.
We're gonna do
That's it. I don't see changing it.
It's good to see it, but, you know, to see it is a problem.
No, I think it was a good exercise,
Right.
but if we wanna make a difference here
Without- without
and
the
get,
infrastructure,
and get
right.
more commercial tax
I agree.
base, then we need to have our infrastructure extended to these
Yes.
places, and maybe we
Right.
target, now that we know where everything is, target where we're
Where
gonna do
it
it.
goes.
I mean, that's what the Economic
I have no-
Development Committee's supposed to be doing, right?
That is correct.
And
But-
where was that?
Well,
Then-
water and sewer really controls the extension of the water and sewer lines.
Well, they knew that was wanted, and we didn't have 200 feet between each house. Right?
Right.
The frontage is ridiculous.
Where was
to
the, where's
extend
Yeah,
the,
but
water
that-
sewer
that's
for each
mostly
person.
industrial or commercial. I mean, the amount of residential
Where-
is minor on that
Where
stretch.
does it stop?
At the school entrance, the high school entrance.
Is where it stops?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can you show me that spot?
That'd be right about here. The school, I think, is, see those empty lot area?
Franklin Street, where is that on there, in
That's
this public facilities there?
Because right there's
Or
the
just
split.
water.
There's water.
That's where the road
But
splits.
Sewer.
There's
So
sewer.
it's the
There's-
school, I
okay.
think, is right there.
Where would that be?
It's the entrance to the high school.
You guys remember the,
The northeast main
so that's that
starts
parcel?
at the split, right? This,
Cool.
yeah, it's upside down to me.
Right there's the
Right,
the
right
school.
here, this is what, that, remember that,
Yeah.
the assisted living came? That's Franklin Street there, that's that parcel there, I'm just saying.
Oh.
I wanted to know what it was.
Now that you have a
Right
big
here,
map,
right,
you can
Mike?
see everything
No.
all
Right,
together.
this split.
We could keep this map.
We should put it up
For
on the wall.
reference,
We should
yeah.
put it up on the
Where's Route
It's a brand new
16? I
one.
can't read
Right
this
here.
upside down.
Right there.
Okay. So it's,
David,
northeast main, it starts here, but it goes,
that, yeah, right there's the
is north
split.
down here?
Yep, north, south.
Okay. That's what I'm
So
saying.
right there's the
Ken
high
is
school.
north.
Right there's the high school,
Upside down.
right there.
Right, so I guess that's
I guess
right.
that's
Right
And
there's
this
the
is
school.
VR, right? Yellow's VR,
Okay.
and then white is RA.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right, and down here is we get O'Leary
North-
Welding and
where's
all them down
North
here.
Yep,
Street
yep.
takes off,
So- Monroe right there, that's where Granny Tech is, right there.
And you have,
That's
what's
Wolf-
this
that's Wolf
residential,
Solar now.
commercial one?
That's going to be Wolf Solar.
Oh, yeah, 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 they're moving from
They're moving from-
146.
Yeah, they're
Oh.
moving to that.
Interesting.
Who?
There was an article in the paper.
Yeah,
Wolf, is it Wolf Solar or?
Wolf, yeah.
Wolf Solar, yeah.
Yeah.
It's a company, solar company that, they do homes, I
Tatron.
think.
Yeah,
Tatron's
it's
moving it to
small
Tatron's.
scale.
He's got a building in, where is it? Millbury?
I think it's in Millbury, yeah.
Yeah,
146.
he's moving everything to Granite Tech.
Bigger space.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's nice, that'd be a nice little
That
business.
sounded
to
That
pretty
is?
good, they're right up there.
All the trucks are down there and have been down there working and
Residential,
everything.
commercial.
Gilboa.
Yeah, it's just a different zoning district that has different allowable uses in
To
those
me,
two
it's-
areas. Some level
Are
of
we off
commercial,
on
that's not allowed in just residential.
Is this North
And
Street?
different lot sizes and stuff.
All right.
Might be North Street.
Yeah.
Almost like
This
So
is-
this
that's
Sutton's
Route
up
12
here
in
somewhere.
Oxford. Going out Route 12, you have a house,
Where's our adult
you have a,
entertainment district?
you have a building.
I can't see it. Is it in the state forest?
Yeah.
Is it
I
worth-
know.
It's in the forest.
It's not shown on this map, but we have one here,
Is it,
which is all state-owned property. And I think that's it, yeah, just right
Is
here.
that
You see-
allowable?
No,
Okay, so we're in violation, so it could go
no,
anywhere.
we're not in violation, but if it were challenged, you know, we could be
So I could pull a
subject-
permit anywhere in town, because you don't have it available.
You could pull a permit, but then, yeah, there's a process, it's not just out and out straightforward like you're implying. But yes,
I'm
we
not
did
implying
bring this
anything.
up a number of years ago, that we need to look at a new location.
So why don't we
When
just
the
do it
pro-
right
What do we do
now?
now?
Go ahead. Where's Mike live?
I'm buying a house.
For the
I'm way out here.
dispensary, what are you talking about?
There's Oak Street.
Adult attention.
Yeah.
See this lot here?
Adult
Goes all the way down here.
Is this
And all the way over
a map
here.
that's
Yeah, Jim.
CMRPC, Oak generated?
They
for-
emailed this
Or
to
do
us,
it off-
yes. This is
do
the
it
one they
over
sent us
here.
asking for.
Now,
Can't we do it over here? By the highway? Where's the highway?
Down
What is
146
that?
that way?
146 is right out this way. Yeah, right
did they
there,
move that
coming down.
entertainment
Uxbridge Street.
zoning area when the windmill project came through?
there.
No.
So it's still where it was
It still
before
exists,
the windmill
however, it is all
project.
owned by the state now, because the state acquired
Yes.
that property, and therefore,
So this color
nobody
map
can
is
really
correct.
viably go on that property
Oh, I
with
see.
that use. That creates a problem for the town. So we need to identify a new location. Now, we brought this up in the past when the state acquired that property as a potential issue, and we were told to defer it to a later date.
Yeah, we should get on that.
Now,
Which
should
hasn't
that
come
be
yet.
maybe brought on here to this
I think a
industrial?
subcommittee would be appropriate,
What?
subcommittee.
No.
But that could be brought out here to this industrial zone.
Yeah, right off the highway.
Yeah, that's great, let's go over there.
That's fine. I mean, I don't have a problem.
In fact, if a dispensary ever went in town,
Davis Street, yeah.
you queue them up, you don't have the
So this
issue
is
with
the
neighborhoods.
Oxford
or anything
line.
like
Right.
that.
So let's put.
That's all.
There's a
industrial
church over there.
and commercial.
Yeah.
But that's all industrial.
This is
in the
wet
district.
until.
But that's for the repentant to go there, after the adult entertainment.
I'm joking, that was a bad joke, I'm sorry.
We have answers.
And what's the square footage that needs to be?
Yeah, how many acres is this?
How many
Roughly,
acres?
rough and tough.
We're gonna get.
It's
a
gonna be an
map.
adult entertainment overlay, right? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, it's an overlay district.
So what's the size that's required for an overlay?
There's no required size.
Oh, okay.
It's just, it's industrial that it has to be in, right?
Yeah, which
No.
would be,
No, it could be.
No, it can be wherever we.
they don't want to
So
be
just put it right here.
You got it,
But
right
you go
there.
in this
That's what I
industrial
was
area.
saying,
Yeah.
where's Mike live?
What?
I was trying to get
Where's
where I
what?
live.
Oh, where does Mike live?
Well, this
Where
would
we
be
put it
that,
over
this,
here.
this would then be coming into town as opposed to
Where's
leaving
McDonald?
town.
Where's Duncan?
Right up. No,
Right here.
no,
It's right here.
No, where's Gilboa?
Yeah, it's right here. This is Gilboa, right here. This is the water tower. This is Pine. This is Duncan right here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You could put it right
You
here,
knew the gas station is.
where Pine is, and then you could see it from the highway.
Perfect. Big lights, neon,
Casino.
casino. There you go. Easy on, easy off.
I mean,
Because that is,
Is this us down here?
Yeah.
yeah, but this is Davis. This is more like all the factories and stuff. That's right off
Davis.
the highway. So you could just do this as CMRPC if they like
Where's
this
that- where's
spot, or
envelope?
if they like this spot over here.
Mike, where's the envelope down there?
where's the envelope?
Yeah, it's right by the water there.
Gilboa,
there.
right here.
Yep,
Right.
yep.
Yeah.
Right.
This is the water
right here.
tower right here. So the
Nice.
building's right here.
Yeah, right there.
The hatched area.
What do you think?
This whole area is the hatched area?
Great
That's
idea.
where-
Clean
that's
it
where
up,
it's
Yeah,
zoned.
right?
clean it up.
And we don't
It does
even-
clean it up. I mean, it's an issue that hasn't come up, but it could be a problem.
Well, actually, you could just
I
trace
mean,
this off
that's a
and-
great idea.
Because it's
I
already,
should've
like
thought
this
of this
long.
before
that's
this
already
meeting.
designed,
It matches the opposite
that's already
of this.
designed for an industrial park. We've already
Goes
looked at
in.
the prints.
Right.
probably
So-
half that much.
If you don't have an overlay
That thing
district,
goes
then they
like
can
so.
come in and put it anywhere they want.
I, that's why I'm,
Yeah, but
I know.
See.
this is the area
Now everybody
here.
knows my idea.
Because here,
The Shell
they
station's
don't
in there
have
somewhere,
that.
right?
right over here.
No, I mean to put it anywhere.
They don't
But what
have
else is
planned
covered
overlay.
besides
Correct.
just
Okay,
like a
I see.
strip club? Is there anything else?
No, I
Pine.
think it's just.
So that's,
Just
that's
that?
all
It's all-
entertainment.
it's all up
pretty,
in
that's
the
probably
center.
quarter
No
mile long or
casino?
something,
All
right?
up here.
I think it's great over there.
I don't, casino
Gambling
issues never
for
come
that?
up. Casinos never come up.
Not in Douglas.
No, not.
So I don't know. Do you think we should have CMRPC just hatch a spot, either spot, call it a day for the plan?
For the rezoning?
Yeah.
For that
Don't
one.
do
We'll-
any
we'll work on this.
rezoning and just do our overlay as our rezoning.
Supported by the planning board.
Yeah.
Okay, that's just a new map, very simple, if that's what you wanna do.
Yeah.
I mean, it cleans it up. It eliminates a
Right, this
possibility
just
of an issue.
stays as one gray area.
Okay, so can someone draw the limits on that plan
Wait,
there
let's
for
just
me?
think about this. Do we want it on Davis Street or do we want it right off the highway?
Off the highway.
Okay.
Off the highway.
This is where the rubber meets the road.
Yeah.
Here.
Let's not mark up the plan.
He said, right,
We
we
were
can
gonna
mark
keep
this
this
up, Mark.
plan, I thought.
Here's a pencil, you want a
I was
pencil?
going for my.
Oh,
late.
jeez. You didn't make it a square.
In that area.
You made it a circle.
I was going for my dot. I was gonna
Yeah.
throw it up in the
But you
air,
know
let it
where?
come down.
So where's the road coming through here itself?
So you
Right.
want to just have it at parcel lines, though.
Yeah, but where's
And
the
then
road
on-
that comes
so
through the
where,
space?
which parcel line do you want to end it here,
Well, that,
next to this person's house?
is that a parcel? Or is that the?
No, this is a parcel.
That's what I'm saying.
This
Or
is
is
a
that the
parcel.
line?
Yeah, you can have that as your line.
So,
Oh my gosh, this is getting really messy.
so where's it?
Okay,
But
You
where's
lose it
the
in there.
roads to it though, like to this, inside this area? How do you
it's
get-
from Sutton.
It will be and from Gilboa.
Yeah,
There's a design
but there's a
industrial park.
road that meets Sutton.
It's gonna go
which
full
is right
south.
here.
Why wouldn't you just do,
Sutton is right here.
yeah, you have to, can't,
Just do this part and call it a day. Let me see that pencil.
take it.
It was a road they were gonna build.
That's
They're
going
still gonna
through there.
build it.
Is it there?
It's gonna happen.
Not there yet.
Yeah.
It's on
Yeah, that's where
paper.
it's, that's its,
That's where it
scheduled.
starts.
Cross hatch.
That's the proposed area, Mike, yes.
Yeah,
now-
but that's years ago.
Now,
Yeah.
let me ask you
It's because
this
he had a
though.
grant. So-
Can you put it someplace that isn't accessible right now?
Why not? It's not accessible right now either.
Well,
And-
you create the same issue that we currently have is what we.
But you just said there was a
So-
road from Sutton.
So,
It has to be a viable
yeah,
location.
so
there
that
you
kills
go.
it.
I
Hey,
would do that, yeah.
you hear,
No, I just extended it.
I don't think the road from Sutton is built yet. That was
No.
just what I was just asking.
so it's, right.
But they can
The
come up this
extender.
way to get in. There you go, they come up this road, right?
Right.
What is that?
North Street.
North.
Yeah, come up there, that's your entrance. There you go. Just to write a delta on it, you know?
Mike.
Yeah.
They don't know which
You
Mike.
see that? You see what we did here?
I don't know, I'm scared. to
All right,
look.
let's
You're
call it a
scared.
day, so we're abandoning
Put the
Then that
the,
way
entrance
there.
is here.
Like I said
The
an
street is
hour
already
ago.
Come up there.
Yeah.
Time to-
I call
Adjourn?
it, nobody wants to listen to me.
Or is it not?
I didn't hear a motion.
Going that way.
I'm all ears.
I'll
I
make a
mean-
motion,
Thing is though, is it gonna make sense doing it that way?
Are we done?
why not? It doesn't,
Not
what
yet,
does
no,
it
not
matter?
done yet.
What does it
Never
really
mind,
matter?
Still got questions.
So is this supposed to be?
Because like
green
Bill
now?
says, it creates the issue that
Through here? 'Cause
we
you
already
said
have,
state line.
where,
You get it from
Combined,
North
this is
Street.
zoning map.
is there any
The
houses in?
original
There's
open
one.
space overlay district
No,
is defined
on that
by the
lot.
So
state.
that will
No.
just become smooth gray through there.
No, there's no
Correct.
houses.
It's gray even though the state.
So
That- you know that for a
circle this,
fact
this
that's
is
Yeah, we
dead
changed
saw
to
it,
gray?
yeah, there's a house right
Back to-
here.
No,
No,
I know
I'm
that.
sorry, that's commercial zone, that's correct.
Right, well,
That
this
is definitely a
industrial,
dead zone?
Correct,
and that's commercial.
correct.
As far as I know it is, I don't think there's
Okay,
anything
we'll
up
leave
there.
that.
Yeah. I don't see a purpose to
But why
touch
doesn't,
it.
why doesn't the commercial
What is
just
this
come up
road
through
here?
here and?
It's all state land,
State-
it
state
makes no
doesn't
difference,
matter
it's just
So
like,
it's not green, it's shown gray, but it's the state land.
it's not green because this is a zoning map. When the original green area, the open space overlay district, that's the limit of the state forest when it was adopted.
Okay.
Has been updated.
But this zoning
Oh
has been
my.
adopted.
Well, no, it's not a matter of being adopted, you'd have to actually change the zoning.
Okay, as the state forest.
So
If you wanted
overlay.
to,
So if the state buys this 160 acres here,
yeah. That stays the way it is
With
on the
white.
zoning map. Yep.
but what do people, how do they get the sense of what is owned by the state? There's other maps, I guess.
Is there? I don't think there's one map that shows it.
Or
They just
should-
have to click on it
or
to see
should
who
this-
owns
We're
it.
getting off the beaten trail.
Yes,
Um,
yeah, that's another discussion.
Is there, on your phone, there's no houses, no nothing on that?
No, there are.
On that industrial lot?
Not on the industrial lot,
Right,
no,
that's
that's
okay.
Vicky, that's
Good,
Vicky owned.
good.
no.
There's that big condo complex up there, what, the North, what they call it, North Village or
Yeah,
something?
that's it, yeah.
It's somewhere
But
along
it's not in that
before.
lot, though.
No, it's before.
No, it must be, well, it's on North Street, so
That's
where
right, we
it's,
did something.
I think it's the other side.
so he left going out of town, so it might be over
Okay.
Well, it's
here.
not what the whole objective was, but
I'm like,
This
you,
is
I'm
more
confused 'cause
involved than-
we're upside down. It's,
this is.
This,
Yeah,
I think
that's-
this is a much bigger deal
Yeah, I can't read it
than
upside
changing
down.
the zoning from like residential to industrial.
Yeah, right.
We should probably find a spot to put it.
What, absolutely.
I'm not implying anything, it's an actual
Yeah.
issue for the town.
Yeah,
Marijuana
It
grow,
is.
I mean marijuana dispensaries and then
Yeah.
adult entertainment.
If you're serious about relocating the adult entertainment
Yes.
overlay district, I would suggest that you have several options and then have a meeting or several meetings with the particular landowners and see if they are receptive to that.
right.
Because you don't want to rezone their property without their input.
It's an overlay,
I understand it's an overlay.
so if they own it and they don't wanna do anything, then they don't.
But it allows
They
them
could go
do
to
it.
town meeting and essentially
Yeah.
kill it,
Okay.
okay, after all the time and effort spent
Well,
on it.
that's why I was, like down here, you have
Give another
multiple.
option.
You have multiple property lots, so there'd be multiple
So you couldn't
options.
just do one person? You can just do one parcel?
I don't see why you couldn't do just one parcel, as long as it's a viable parcel that has access and, so, you know, if you focused your effort on that and we created a map on that and then advertised and had a public hearing, and then the homeowner or property owner came to town meeting and said, I didn't know anything about this,
Right.
I'm absolutely
Wash it.
opposed to it,
Right.
it
Why
would
would
fail.
we do that?
You
Why
have
would
to
we,
if you're.
why would they just find out?
Well, that's why
then?
I'm saying we should have
That's what we have to have. the
Several
public hearing
different
and-
Yeah, we were
options.
gonna have to do that anyway. If you're
Well,
rezoning
have
somebody's
two options
property,
And then bring them both.
But that's why I'm saying, like, if you did an overlay, like you were
just
talking
do,
about,
just pick one property.
Okay.
Just pick one property.
how can you pick just one? An overlay
No,
is an
I-
overlay. Like out here, it could be
It has to go to-
on multiple properties.
Has to go to town
But you only
meeting
have to
anyway,
have
doesn't
one.
doesn't
It does.
Yeah.
So he's saying you're gonna have an issue with the neighbors, with
Yeah, but
the
the idea,
property owners.
Owners and neighbors.
Yeah.
Put it right next to a solar farm because the panels can't complain. That's what we gotta do.
Okay, so is this what we're gonna pursue?
Yeah, I think we should.
Mike decided that.
yeah, don't look at me.
I mean, nothing's gonna stick if you don't throw it up in the air. So
Okay.
you gotta do something, so.
Yeah,
So I'll have them draw that hatched-in area as AEOD and prepare a map, and then I'll reach out after the map's
Reach out,
prepared.
contact the people.
Contact the people, and then we'll take it from there.
Right, so they're not forced to take that, I mean, but it's available to them if they get people that are coming into town, are they, right?
you're asking me.
Right? Bill, William?
All right, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
No.
Oh. That's what we just asked.
You all set with this, Bill?
Okay, we're not gonna pursue modifying the zoning map by district, just the adult entertainment overlay.
Correct.
For right now.
Okay,
Okay.
I got it.
All right. Now, before you make a motion to adjourn, anything that isn't on the agenda
That's the
that was up for discussion tonight? Bill, do you have anything?
Nope.
No? Okay, nobody else has anything? Go for it.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Motion made by Tracy, seconded by Ken. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed,
Thank
abstained,
you.
motion carries. All
That
right.
whole
Good evening,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Thank you.